So, Devin?
Devin, can you just talk about how you got past what you guys all had to go through last year and turn the page to get a new, fresh start for this year?
How we got past what happened last year. It's just a part of the process. I mean, everyone has some downtimes and everyone has highs, but if you stay level, the outcome is going to be better. So just staying level, everyone just staying level-headed and not getting too low. And last year was last year, and we're moving on to this year, and we're excited.
How's it feeling so far? What's your team look like?
It feels good. We got a really good team. Really excited. Coaches, players, everyone's bought in, and we're excited.
Without bashing the guys you played with last year, can you compare the talent level and kind of what you guys can be compared to what you did last year?
I'll never bash anyone. We had some good players last year, and we have some really good players this year. So we got some really talented guys that came in, and we're going to be a really good team.
How does Madsen set the tone for what he wants this team to be?
How he sets the tone, he's a guy with experience, and people like him with experience is easy to listen to and it's easy to follow because what we want to accomplish is what he already accomplished. And so just following him, and it's not that hard, it's easy.
Has he been what you thought he'd be?
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. He has a nickname, Mad Dog. He's intense on the court, but he's a really nice coach. He's competitive. He gets on us, and I like him a lot.
Can you describe his energy level?
On the court, a lot of energy. He's very focused. Off the court, he still brings energy, goofy, but really nice guy.
What are some of the things you like most about this team so far?
Just how together we are. There's a feeling that when you feel it of when people are in sync, and just us talking every day as players, as coaches, everyone just on the same grind, and it feels good.
What's been aspects of your game that you felt like you've improved from last season?
Just my all-around game. Obviously still working on shooting and just picking my spots better, and with a lot of the talent that came in, just focusing on my role and just what I need to do for this team to be good, and just doing my job every day.
So what is that role? Last year you were asked to do pretty much everything.
Yeah.
This year not to have to hopefully do that.
My strength is passing, facilitating and passing, and I think this year I'll get to focus on that and just make plays. I'm a basketball player, and let the guys that are really good at scoring that thing, let them score. So. Will
you and Jaylen be sharing the point, or how do you line up?
Jaylen Cone or Jaylen Tyson?
Jaylen Cone.
Whoever gets the ball brings it up. I know 1 through 3, 1 through 4. I can play wherever coach wants me that day. That's where I'll be. So.
Was there any apprehension for you during the roster building process, like not knowing who you're going to be playing with and just having to see it come together piece by piece?
That's out of my control. I just focus day by day of getting better and better in myself and better in better in the team. So just focusing on what I control. That's just out of my control.
With so many shooters around you, guys that can score from the perimeter consistently, does that take some of the pressure off you?
For sure. We got other ball handlers too, so it's a blessing. We have really good players that can do a lot of good things.
What will the personality of the team be on the floor, you think?
Sorry,
what will the personality of your team be?
High energy. We, as you know, Jaylen Cone is the maximum energy on our team, and he leads in the energy way, and we follow. So there's a lot of energy out there.
What does he do in that way to kind of stand out?
He just has a voice, man. He loud all the time, and just seeing him shoot a 40-footer and it's just all net. That spikes some energy in you right there.
And how does the coaching staff respond to the 40-foot shot?
He can shoot the ball, so they're fine with that. Yeah.
What's been the biggest change that you've seen from last season to this season when it comes to teams, morale?
I just think how together we are. Like I said earlier, we're a team that's really together, and it's gonna be fun.
How did that happen? That cohesiveness and togetherness.
I think it's a part of the coaches that came in and the players that came in. They brought over a culture that is fun, and it brings out that togetherness. We do activities together. We always talk in the locker room, 6 6 hours. You know, we'll be here till 8 p.m. just talking, all the players, hanging out at the houses, working out together, and then competing in practice. That's what really brings us together. Like, us competing every day, it brings us so much closer.
Is that unique from your experiences at different schools, sitting in the locker room for 6 hours?
I mean, every program, like, players, they sit in the locker room and talk, but, like, I feel like this year we talk about real stuff, whether it's, like, funny, the topic of, like, what's going on in the world, how practices are going, what we need to do better, each of us. So, like, it's just a whole open conversation. So just everyone just speaks from their heart, and, you know, it's all love.
You've got 5 assistants on the court along with the head coach this year.
Yeah.
How have you liked the way that's played out so far?
I love it. All of our assistant coaches, all of our coaches in general, they're amazing. They bring good energy. They bring in good culture, and you know, we're following their lead. So.
And it sounds like they all kind of play a role with each of the players rather than just sticking with one position all the time. Are you able to get good input from multiple people? All
of them. They all bring something different. I love it. I love it.
I asked Fardaz how excited he is about 9 days from now. You got a game finally.
Yeah.
What's it feel like for you?
I'm beyond excited. I had an injury last year, and, you know, I'm just really excited to be out there on the court again, wearing a Cal jersey, and you know, excited to play for our new coaches, our new players, and the new fans that come in, and, you know, we're ready to get this thing started.
Say, what do you want to show those people who, some of them left last year because it was hard to watch
for sure.
at times. Yeah. You guys understood that, right?
Yes.
So what do you want to show them to get them back?
The love of basketball, man. How exciting basketball is, how exciting everyone that's new that came in, and how much love we have for the game, and it's going to be fun.
Are they going to be surprised?
I would say they're going to be very happy.
With your career journey, how important is this season for you personally?
I don't really like to focus on personal issues. It's for the team, we're just focused on winning. So, yeah.
All right, Devin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Devin.
Thank
Have
you,
fun.
guys. Thank you.